Hi everyone, thanks so much for being here today. My name is Tracy Sheldon. I work for the Office of Sustainability at the City of Palm Springs. Liz and I have prepared a little presentation for you. We're going to go through it. There have been some changes to refuse collection beginning in January 1st of this year through the state. It's my intention for you to learn a lot today, love the information, and share it with your friends and family. So you're kind of our ambassadors helping to spread the word as well. And it'll be easy too, since we'll have a video to share. So without further ado, we are talking about refuse, recycling, and organic waste collections. Prior to January 1st of this year, we were just doing our refuse, which I'll refer to as landfill, and also recycling. We have those two bins. However, the City Council is preparing for these state mandated changes. So actually, back in December, they passed an ordinance, and that ordinance is now requiring organics collection. And we'll get a little bit more into what organics is. And then why did the state make this change? So to get the legal ease out of the way, it's State Bill 1383 that the state of California passed. This affects all residents. So residential collection at our homes and also commercial collection at our businesses. And so the reason for these changes is when the state as a whole is looking at our greenhouse gas emissions and what is hurting our environment and depleting our ozone layer, the biggest offender is the breakdown of food waste in our landfills. So as a solution, we haven't all been good composters, but we're all going to become good composters because we will be separating our food waste out. So when we prepare our meals and we have our food scraps on our kitchen counter, we're going to keep those separate, and we're going to put those in with our landscape clippings, and we're going to, in essence, all become composters. That compost is going to turn into mulch, and then we can use that mulch for agricultural applications and decrease that food waste going into our landfills. The state is saying this is the most radical change update that we've made to refuse collection since we started recycling in the 80s. So we are looking to do a lot of outreach and education. We're not looking for everyone to be experts right out the gate, but we are hoping to help share the information so that we can all do the right thing. And like I said, it does affect the whole state, so none of us are excluded. This is for every city and jurisdiction within the state. So in the city of Palm Springs, well, just globally, we all are coming out of COVID. We've all heard about supply chain issues. Well, guess what? With a new program being enacted throughout the state, when our waste hauler, Palm Springs Disposal, and everybody else went and was ordering more trucks and more carts and all of the necessities that you need to start this program, there have been some supply chain issues as well. So here in Palm Springs, we could have started organic waste collection over the summer, but then we were thinking about all of our seasonal residents and so many folks leave for those warmer summer months. So we're going to start our program in Palm Springs on October 1st of this year. So to prepare for that, like I alluded to, refuse is now a 3-stream system. So here in Palm Springs, our landfill cart is our brown cart. You will notice that I have gray written on there because the state is also dictating what color the carts are, but they are also giving us time to make any color changes. I think it's 2035 in which we need to comply. So in the interim, we're going to continue using those brown landfill carts until they meet the end of their life expectancy. And as we do replace those out, they will be turning to gray in color. Blue for recycling is staying the same. We have the blue. And then the green cart, does anyone here have a green cart currently at home? Excellent. So about 25% of our residential customers currently have green carts, and those green carts are for your yard clippings. But that leaves 75% of our residents that don't have that green cart yet. So what we're asking is for everyone to start at the same time. Again, that October 1st date, and you most likely have 65-gallon carts at your home. However, you're going to be offered a variety of 3 sizes: 35-gallon, 65-gallon, and 95-gallon. They're all the same height, but they vary in width. So of course the 35-gallon is going to be the skinniest, and the 95-gallon will be the wider one. And so you may have noticed in your mail you received the April newsletter from Palm Springs Disposal, and it starts talking about these sizes, because we also want to start adjusting for those folks who need smaller or larger bins. For my household, I would probably do a 35-gallon, and then let's say if you're a household of 4, you would most likely do the 95-gallon. And so Liz is going to talk to you a little bit about what goes into which cart, because a lot of folks still have those questions. Well, what goes into recycling? What will go into landfill? And can you tell me exactly what goes into organics? So Liz is going to go through this list and touch upon these. Also, if you go onto Palm Springs Disposal's website or the city's website, we also have these handy lists, because how are we expected to memorize all of this? So we have these lists on both websites so that you can access for ease of information. And without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Liz.
Hi everyone, it's nice being here and sharing this information that I know for some of us, recycling is still a bit new, because there's so much change with recycling in the past few years. The market for recycling has changed so much, which is why we believed it was important to go ahead and cover that again. We know that organics is going to be new to all of us, but with recycling, there have been so many changes in the past few years that we just want to make sure, again, we're not going to remember everything that goes in the blue recycling bin, but we want to have an idea of, make the best decision of what to put in our blue recycling cart. So the blue recycling cart, if you guys, you all should have a blue recycling cart. It's a 65-gallon cart. We will have those available as well in a 95-gallon cart size. I'm sorry. Those will be available because we know cardboard is one of our main recycling items nowadays with everybody ordering online. So, and those accommodate a little better with the cardboard in the big boxes. What goes in the blue cart? So we want to keep anything that goes in that blue cart as clean as possible. Your items like your water bottle, your drink bottles, your plastic bottles, your juice bottles, those kind of bottles, you can lightly rinse them out, or make sure that they're completely empty. Anything smaller than the size of a credit card, and I say this because I'm talking about the bottle caps, even for the larger bins, we want to remove those. We just want to make sure that it's the item that's going to be recycled. So we have bottles, glass bottles, plastic bottles, aluminum cans. We want to make sure it's a lot of the times we hear aluminum and we have an item from our garage or something that came with our a shipping item, and we toss that. It's best to just keep the items, the household items that you mainly use, like your soda cans, those type of aluminum items. Your paper. We know that this is one of the main questions because we live in a city where it's very windy, and at times, it's our recycling cart may end up at the end of the street or with our neighbor. So paper, we do encourage you to recycle it. I know we've learned that a lot of people don't recycle their paper because of the wind. The best way to do that is to put it in a cereal box, small box such as a cereal box, or in a paper bag, and roll up the top of it and put your paper in your newspaper, office paper, shredded paper from your shredder, office shredder, put it in the box, in a bag, it goes on your blue recycling bin. The other one would be your cardboard. Again, I mentioned and go back to that. We know that cardboard is one of our main items for our blue bin. If you have extra recycling, it's no problem. rather than putting that extra one in your trash cart, we ask you to please call Palm Springs Disposal. We will be happy to arrange a special pickup for cardboard. And then again, the list goes on. There's more items to add. You can always visit our website for the items. We do have some flyers for those recycling items as well up at the front. And then for the next one, our green card. And I know Tracy mentioned briefly, if you have a green card, we currently, until October, want to make sure we just keep green waste in that green card. No food waste at the moment. However, when October 1st rollout program begins, or prior to that this summer, we will begin, if you have a green card already, we will come by and put in a nice label stating that the items that can go in your green card, such as food scraps, soiled paper, your meat, everything, cooked meat, that goes on your green bin. If you don't have a green card yet, we will be delivering before the program rolls out. At the end of September, we will be delivering those cards. If you haven't selected your size yet, you can visit our website and submit the form, and we will go ahead and deliver the size that you select. If you don't select the size, no problem. We'll just deliver the 65-gallon cart. And if that doesn't work for you, because again, this is a change for everyone, you can always call us and we can swap that cart for a different size. The food, again, I want to touch base on this a little bit. We know that there's plenty of questions regarding food. How's it going to work with summer, seasonal residents? And we'll be happy to answer those questions. I'll mention that one of the main things is the smell in the summer. We'll be developing some tips with the City of Palm Springs on how to help with that. One of the main things that we've heard it works the best is freezing your food until the day of pickup and putting it in your cart that day. But we just want to keep it as clean as possible when it comes to the food cart. It means your green waste, nothing but organics, just your cooked meat, your scraps, your raw meat, if you have soiled paper or napkins, that can go in there, and your regular yard waste, of course, that you've been using it for, as well as coffee grounds, tea bags, coffee filters. Those are acceptable. At the moment, they will not be accepting compostable foodware in it. So you want to just make sure the containers, anything of that, you just go ahead and remove it. But the facility will not be accepting those at this time.
Did we say bag yet? And did we clarify it can be any bag?
You are able to use bags because, again, we know that we don't want it to be messy. The facility will be accepting bags, either paper, plastic, reusable, one use. They'll accept it. They do prefer that it's clear bags, just so that they're able to, make sure it's food waste. But you are able to use any type of bag, even paper bag for the peel and stuff that doesn't have liquids. And moving on to our next one. So this will be a source separated food waste card. So for the locations, if you live in a apartment complex where you have landscapers and they remove the yard waste from your location, then you can always, or your HOA, depending, can always request a food only. So this is no yard waste, just food only. We can go ahead and arrange that as well. It'll be source separated. So the only items that will be accepted on this would be food, no yard waste. And pretty much what we covered for the food, just meat, scraps, fruits, cooked meat, vegetables, coffee grounds, soil napkins, soil paper products, coffee filters. Those items are there, and we will be putting the tags and the stickers on each cart that accepts these items, so that it's clear what color accepts what. So this is going to be a light brown food cart, because we do use currently our brown cart for Palm Springs. So just to be able to identify between the regular landfill trash and the food waste cart. But this is going to be available for homes, locations. It's currently for our businesses, but it will be available for homes or apartments or locations where green waste is not produced, and it's just be for the food waste. And then I'm going to go ahead and pass this back to Tracy.
Lots of fun stuff. I was going to say, when Liz and I visit the commercial properties and we're in the back of the house at kitchens, that's where we see those tan colored carts. But we do have a tremendous amount of multifamily units here in Palm Springs, apartments, condos, also our mobile home parks. So every neighborhood or each HOA, each complex is unique. And so what we are doing is we're really encouraging those property managers to contact us, because some places have space constraints. They have built their trash enclosures to accommodate landfill and recycling, never envisioned that food waste and organics collection was going to be added. So we are doing on-site visits. We're talking about changing the sizes of maybe those oversized bins and using some carts. Also, those containers that are currently where you're putting your landfill in, those containers are going to get less action, because you are going to find that you're utilizing the recycling a lot more, and while you're keeping your food waste out, you're just going to notice a decrease in those landfill containers, which is the whole point. But like I said, if you live in a multifamily complex or mobile home park and you haven't heard about this, or you want to pass the information on to your property manager, we are going out regularly to do on-site visits. That's part of the service we offer, so please don't hesitate. We're here to help and make it easier. We also understand that this isn't going to just happen overnight, so we just want to work through it together. So let's talk about what is organic waste. And this is defined by the state. So organic waste is your food scraps, your landscape and pruning trimmings, lumber, wood, manure, cardboard. When I say cardboard, I mean soiled cardboard. Like, we've ordered a pizza together and that pizza box is soiled, that can go into the organics container. If we went and bought an uncooked pizza from the store together and are going to cook it, and that pizza box does not get soiled because it's wrapped in plastic and hasn't gotten greasy yet, that cardboard can go in your recycling container. So if it's soiled, organics; if it's clean, recycling. Paper products, printing and writing paper, again, this is more if it's soiled. Because if you envision your composting and how you're using those ingredients together to make your compost, that's the point of this. Let's see. This includes items such as food soiled paper, pizza boxes, paper plates, napkins. And again, the state is also mandating that we do edible food collection. And so this is affecting our larger food producers, so larger restaurants, larger venues, because also our grocery stores. So instead of that food immediately being thrown out and disposed of, if it is still edible and still in good condition, the state is mandating that those go to food collection banks. We already do that process pretty well here in Coachella Valley with Fine Food Bank, so that's not much of a change for us here, but in some other communities it's a little bit a bigger deal, but we already do a good job of that here in Coachella Valley. Then if we talk about what goes into that brown gray cart, this is your landfill cart. We were at a 1 PS meeting last week, and people were saying, you know, what does go in here? So this will be your waxed, it looks like paper, but it has a waxy coating to it. So your milk cartons, almond milk cartons, orange juice cartons, those kind of things. It's pretty much anything that doesn't go into your recycling or your organics waste will go into the landfill cart. So we have ceramics, mirrors, glass, plates, pet waste, soiled paper towels, styrofoam. Styrofoam is never recyclable. I get calls on that pretty often. Why isn't it recyclable? It just isn't. There's chemicals in it. It never breaks down. So stay far away from styrofoam. Plastic bags, pet waste. Oh, you have pet waste a couple times there. Soiled pizza boxes, paper plates with food on them. Liz also made a comment. We're going to be adding stickers to the containers. We'll be doing that during the summer months. Those are going to go on the larger metal ones. And then also the new carts that are coming, they're getting hot stamps on the lids. So that's going to give information. We're also going to have QR codes. So you take your phone and you take a picture of the QR code, and then that immediately takes you to the website, because we want that information to be really easy for everyone to obtain when they're standing there looking at the 3 carts trying to make the decision of what goes in which bin. And as if we're not, you know, telling you more things to do, just a gentle reminder to put your carts away. The city does have an ordinance that the carts need to be out of sight. Again, because we're making this significant change to refuse, we are not issuing citations. We are looking to work with you and set up appointments to go on site as to how we can rearrange maybe the refuse collection area where you live. But working together. And then I'd like to open it up for some questions. And I also want to make sure you have my contact information and Liz's. So that's my email address and direct phone number. There's no gatekeeper. That really goes to my address. And same with Liz. But who has questions, or who would like to start with questions? Yes.
I remember in the old days we weren't allowed to put bones in recycling. Can we do that now?
For the green cart, yes, you can put bones in your green organics cart come October 1st. Definitely, yes. So